Welcome to Books in Brief, the channel that gives you quick and concise summaries of popular books. Whether you're short on time or just looking for a quick refresher, we've got you covered. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's book summary. The Canterbury Tales is a rich and entertaining collection of stories written by Geoffrey Chaucer. Set in 14th century England, the book frames a series of tales within the context of a pilgrimage to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket in Canterbury. Chaucer introduces a group of pilgrims from various social classes, a knight, a miller, a prioress, a merchant, and more, who each agree to tell stories to pass the time on their journey. The stories reflect the values, vices, and humour of medieval society, and they range from serious and moral to bawdy and comic. Though Chaucer intended for each pilgrim to tell 2 stories on the way there and 2 on the way back, 120 total, he completed only 24 tales. Still, the work is considered one of the greatest literary achievements in English literature. The story begins at the Tabard Inn in Southwark, near London. The narrator, Chaucer himself, meets 29 pilgrims preparing to go to Canterbury. The innkeeper, Harry Bailey, suggests a storytelling contest. Each pilgrim will tell 4 tales, 2 on the way there, 2 on the way back. The one who tells the best story will win a free meal paid for by the others. Harry Bailey will serve as judge and guide for the journey. The tales that follow are diverse in style, tone, and message, reflecting the personality and background of each storyteller. Notable characters and their tales. The Knight's Tale, a chivalric romance about 2 knights, Palamon and Archite, who fall in love with the same woman, Emily. They are imprisoned together and become romantic rivals. A grand tournament is held to determine who will marry her. Themes, love, fate, honour, and courtly ideals. The Miller's Tale, a bawdy fablio comic tale that parodies the ideals of courtly love. A young clerk named Nicholas tricks a carpenter to sleep with his young wife, Alison. Includes slapstick humour and crude pranks. Themes, lust, deception, and poetic justice. The Wife of Bath's Tale. Before her tale, she gives a long prologue about her 5 marriages, asserting her views on female dominance and experience in marriage. Her tale features a knight who must discover what women most desire: sovereignty over their husbands. Themes, gender roles, power in relationships, and wisdom through experience. The Pardoner's Tale, a deeply ironic story told by a corrupt pardoner who sells fake relics. His tale warns against greed, as 3 men set out to kill death, but find gold and kill each other. Radix malorum est cupiditas. The love of money is the root of all evil. Themes, hypocrisy, sin, and moral corruption. The Prioress's Tale, a miracle story about a young Christian boy murdered by Jews for singing a hymn to the Virgin Mary, reflects anti-Semitic attitudes of the time and religious piety. Themes, innocence, faith, and divine justice. The Clerk's Tale, a tale of extreme patience and obedience. Griselda, a peasant woman, is tested by her noble husband to prove her virtue. Themes, virtue, suffering, and loyalty, though later criticized for its moral ambiguity. The Merchant's Tale, a cynical story of an old knight, January, who marries a young wife, May, only to be tricked and cheated on. Features comic irony and even a moment where a god intervenes. Themes, folly, marriage, and deception. The Franklin's Tale, a tale of honour and mutual respect in marriage. A woman promises herself to a suitor to help her husband, but the suitor nobly releases her from the vow. Themes, generosity, truth, and nobility. Now let's transition to the themes in the Canterbury Tales. Social class and inequality. Chaucer gives voices to people from every walk of life, from nobles to peasants. He subtly criticises the class system and shows how virtue or vice can be found at every level. Corruption in the church. Several characters like the pardoner, friar, and summoner represent moral decay within the medieval church. Chaucer satirises religious figures who exploit faith for profit, gender and marriage. Tales like those of the wife of Bath, the clerk, and the merchant explore different views on marriage, power dynamics between men and women, and love. Storytelling itself. Chaucer celebrates storytelling as an art form that reveals character, culture, and truth. Each pilgrim's tale reflects their morality, wit, and worldview. We also need to mention how the structure and language is mostly written in rhymed couplets of iambic pentameter. Originally composed in Middle English, Chaucer was one of the first major writers to use English rather than Latin or French. Uses a frame narrative structure, stories within a story. Finally, the Canterbury Tales is more than just a collection of medieval stories. It's a vivid portrait of the 14th century life, filled with humour, drama, morality and satire. Chaucer's pilgrims represent a microcosm of English society, and through their tales, he exposes both the virtues and flaws of human nature. Though incomplete, the Canterbury Tales remains one of the most celebrated and influential works in English literature, offering insight into the minds and morals of people long ago, with lessons that still resonate today. That's it for today's summary on Books in Brief. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more book summaries. And if you have any book suggestions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Books in Brief.